Hi guys, so my camera's about to die and I just finished filming this video and it took me like over like an hour to film this. So I'm gonna try to film an intro before my camera dies because I ended up going a bit off track with this video. I talked a lot and a lot and a lot. So with this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to edit this in the best way possible and put in the knitting questions in the beginning, and then I'm gonna save like the more personal answers that I gave at the end. So if you came in just for the knitting, you can just watch the video and knit along and then stay if you're like a subscriber. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this absolutely chaotic video. It's currently almost 2 a.m. filming this. So yeah, Alexandra from an hour ago, start talking. Today we are doing a classy, I wouldn't say classy actually. We're doing a little knit and chat that I've seen so many other people do and I love them, of course. But I didn't want to do them because I didn't want to like copy other people. For example, Well Done Knits, Kalila, many people. But then I realized that we're just going to be knitting and chatting and yeah. Maybe that's not too much of a copy. I don't know. I'll let know. I'm just gonna go through these questions. I have my water with me. I do have some knitting as well. Do you want to see what I'm knitting? You guys haven't seen this yet. Oh, hello. I need to be careful, right? They're on here's my Marseille sweat. I remember Laura DMing me, Laura from Penrose Knits, that I pronounced Marseille sweater. I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's Marseille in Swedish. Marseille. It's a sweater by Petit Knit, okay? And we have the yoke section. It looks so small. I should be making a size large because it is an oversized pattern. This is supposed to have 25 centimeters of positive ease. A size medium, the finished bust circumference is going to be 120. And my bust measurement is, well, it changes every day. I don't know what kind of boobs I have, but my measurement changes every time. Around 100, so yeah, I should be making a large, but when I was buying yarn, I didn't want to buy yarn. Double Sunday is so expensive. So, okay, yeah, Marseille sweater. That's what I'm going to be knitting. I've knitted across the front. I've added 2 stitches. So now I just need to transfer. Where did I put it? The back yoke. We're attaching it to start working on the body in the round. So I'm just gonna move my back stitches onto these needles. Yeah, I guess this is a Q&A, but we're also knitting, so maybe this isn't a bad thing that we're going through this. Maybe I could just take the first question. It is in Swedish. Har du frihandat någon gång? Eller kör du bara på mönster? Vad i sådana fall? Have you ever freehanded, like knitting wise? Or are you just going off of a pattern? What I have freehanded. So the first thing I ever knit in 2020 was the Hairstyles Cardigan. I wish I had seen this question beforehand because I did go through all of my knits today, and I guess I haven't fully freehanded things. Like I downloaded the free J.W. Anderson cardigan pattern, the first thing that I ever knit, but I didn't understand a thing. Like I had just I knitted it together with my mom. She probably made like 70% of that cardigan, the first thing ever. But yeah, it ended up with me just making a bunch of squares and then just crocheting them together, and it's terrible. So that was kind of freehand, but not really, because I watched every single making a Hairstyles cardigan on YouTube. So yeah, and then the first thing I did after that was a sweater vest off of a YouTube tutorial, and that thing was I kind of loosely followed, and then that video, and then I was also inspired by how Kalila, I think, her sweater vest looked. So no, no is the answer, I guess. I freehanded so much with crochet. Like, I started off not using patterns. After I found Kalila and Copy Dolls, I tried out their patterns, but honestly, before that I was just just crocheting cardigans, one after another, after another, after another. But with knitting, I'm just too scared. It's not as easy. Vad fick dig att våga ta steget ut och skapa content? This shit cool. Wow, thank you. What made you have the courage and take the step and create content? You're shit cool. First of all, tack så mycket. I don't know. It's so strange because it went from wanting to do it, like wanting to create a knitting Instagram and YouTube, but being too scared, to just doing it. My first video was a little vlog over New Year's Eve, and I did kind of go through an existential crisis at that time. Those couple of days, like it was gonna be a new year. I don't know, and I just decided to okay, this year I'm gonna start my YouTube channel and do it. I don't view my YouTube channel as a YouTube channel. I view it more as like my knitting podcast. What knitting video do I want to make? Like, I'm currently filming most days for the Swedish yarn store video that I want to make, and I've just been sitting in my car filming the roads, not while driving, okay, in the passenger seat, filming like, oh, I wonder if the people who watch want to see this. I wonder if they want to see this. Should I record like this? Yeah, so what made me want to do it is a mental breakdown on New Year's Eve. Just like finally doing it, not giving a shit what people think, which is a lie, because no one in my real life has found my YouTube channel yet, and that's the only reason why I keep going, because as soon as someone reaches out saying, hey, I found your YouTube channel, I'll quit. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I've said this before, I said it in my last video, but I'm gonna be like Shia LaBeouf and say just do it, because that's what I did. And I learn more with every video that I post, that ooh, people are actually watching this, and it's scary. Like, obviously I knew when I started, but it just felt fake. Like I had paid followers to come and comment on the video. You know, I don't know, but yeah, I'm just yeah. What made you have the courage? An existential crisis, and a sprinkle of I don't give a shit. Okay, in all the knitting videos that exist on YouTube, no one is swearing and everyone's so kind. And it's been really difficult for me trying not to swear, because I swear both in Swedish and in English, because I learned English by watching YouTube and TikTok and Vines growing up. So I just have a lot of swear words in my vocabulary. So it's been difficult for me during my YouTube thing to stay classy. So I'm sorry for swearing. I'm not gonna start doing that, because no one else on knitting YouTube is doing that. But yeah, I'm sorry if it slips out in this video, because I'm just very chill at the moment. Okay guys, we split for sleeves. We did not. We've knitted the front, and now we're just gonna connect. I should have made a size large. There's no turning back. I'm gonna block the Not really a question, but to me, but to me, you radiate Dakota Johnson's calm, chaotic energy, and I love it. Whew. Thank you for that. You just made my entire life, and I'm gonna print that out, and wow, thank you. It's very nice. Thank you. Is she in Aries? No. Do you have a pattern on your bucket list, but too scared to try at the moment? Yes. Yes. So when I did a vlog in May or something, because I was talking about my Ingrid slipover in that video, I remember. I was talking about these store-bought sweaters that I wanted to recreate, especially this white sweater that I had. And a bunch of people in the comments said that I should check out the Morel, I think so, M-O-R-E-L, Morel sweater by Fiber Tales. And I did, and I fell in love. And everyone, okay, I'm gonna put up a picture, but it has like these cherries, and the pattern on the sweater that is like here is quite similar to that one store-bought sweater that I had. And everyone told me that you can just eliminate the cherries out here. But the thing is, I love cherries. I haven't told you guys about who I was when I was 16, but just know that I love cherries, okay? So I'm gonna keep those cherries, and I did end up buying the pattern like a month ago maybe. I read through that pattern, and oh my god, I will not be doing that sweater for a while. I really want to, because it's so dreamy, and I'm just thinking about what yarn I should use. Like, I should probably use a mohair for that sweater, because it's so pretty and it deserves mohair. But I just, the pattern confused me a lot. Maybe I should read through it again. But yeah, for now I am just terrified of that. So if anyone wanna help me, please do. How are you? I guess. Okay, thank you for asking. Yeah, right. I'm gonna go through the personal questions at the end. So let's just get to the second part of the question. Sorry, which is 5 knitwear designers for advanced beginners. Oof, oof. Not an easy question, my dear. I have, well, obviously Petit Knit, because Petit Knit has patterns both for beginners and experienced knitters, I guess. I would say as, am I an advanced beginner? I think so. Maybe intermediate, but I don't want to like say that I am and then I'm not. I will just say that as someone who was terrified of trying difficult patterns, if you find something, I could give you 5 tips right now. I'm just gonna say Petit Knit because I love her, and I'm not really that into other designers. Penrose Knits, check her out. Typical Bliss. There's yeah. Don't go into the if you start off knitting, if you're a beginner, yeah, maybe I shouldn't go for the Jenny sweater. You could. But if you're an advanced beginner, I don't want to give you tips on one certain designer. You should just see whatever you want to knit and then knit it. Because at that point, you can do anything. That's such a bad answer, but that's my answer. I'm sorry. What is your absolute favorite yarn to knit with? Look, I could say mohair. Why can't I grab it? Have you seen me try to grab my yarn? Well, I could say mohair, but the thing with mohair is I love knitting with it so much, held together with another strand of wool, because it just hides all of my mistakes. Let's look at my Mars sweater, shall we? This is just one strand of double Sunday, and it is so much more uneven than when I use a mohair, because mohair just fluffs up and hides all of my mistakes. But however, knitting with we're getting very comfortable here. Knitting with just mohair, like 2 strands held together, I'd rather die. Okay, no, I've done it, and I don't enjoy it. So I guess I would say, and then there's, this is really nice, knitting with 1 strand of merino wool. It's going super quickly because I just have 1 strand to worry about. But honestly, I don't want to say wool either because I don't like working with scratchy wool. So favorite yarn to knit with, like a double Sunday together with the mohair. I haven't done it yet, but I feel like that would be my favorite yarn. I don't know. I hate working with cotton. Working with silk is nice. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, what's the most proud project you have done? What if I told you I'm not proud of anything? No. I don't know. I guess I could say the Ingrid sweater or the Ingrid slipover. But with my Ingrid slipover, I feel like it turned out too big for me. And I'm not happy with how I did the ribbing. The length of the slipover is perfect. I shortened the ribbing, if you guys remember that. I don't know. And then just my Ingrid sweater, it's been through a lot, guys. I've been wearing it every single day. And it's like at work, I've worn it at work and I've gotten stuck like in fans. So just it has I have some holes in my Ingrid sweater. So I'm not proud of that anymore. I don't know. I feel like if you ask me this question in 6 months, I'm gonna have knitted more things. But I guess the one I'm most proud of right now would be my terrazzo sweater maybe. But then like just because I'm so happy that I finally got the yarn and I can't believe I have it nearby to wear. So I guess I'm very proud of that. I don't know. Now we have 3 questions coming up from one of my favorite people, Laura. The first question is, when can I visit? And my love, why? I'm just waiting. I'm here waiting, and whenever. Camera died, but yes, Laura. When can I visit? Whenever, please. I beg of you. Okay. And then her second question was, when/why did you start knitting? The first time I knitted was, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell I've done here because I don't understand anything. What is this? What have I done, guys? Oh no, this is not good. What have I done? This has never happened to me. Wait guys, I gotta fix mistakes. So this has to be that stitch. Then we have 2, right? Okay. Well, when I hate that I did that Hairstyles Cardigan in 2020 because I feel like it makes it hard for me because yes, it was my first knit project, but I hated how it turned out, so I didn't knit for a couple of months, and then I started crocheting at the beginning of 2021, and then I didn't pick up knitting until this fall again. So that's when, I suppose. And then why? I became a Harry Styles fan because of the cardigan. So I was on vacation 2020. Vacation is like way overkill. We were just driving the car around, and I was watching TikTok, and I somehow, as a non-Harry Styles fan, ended up on Harry Styles TikTok, and people were making this cardigan, and my best friend at the time was talking a lot about Harry Styles, and she loved him, and I do have like a creative bone in my body. I am quite creative, and I love picking up hobbies and then quitting them right after. Piano, guitar, drawing, bubble what? Art, whatever, you know. So I was just driving in the car, and I remember asking my mom, like, is it hard to knit a cardigan? Like, there are some, what should I remember specifically asking, if I were to make this cardigan and showing her like the Hairstyles cardigan, what would be easier, to knit it or crochet it? And she said, you should knit that. So that's why I started knitting in 2020. Just because she said it would be easier. And then I went to a yarn store and bought some acrylic yarn to make it. And then, yeah. And I took a break, as I said, after that one, just because I hated how it turned out. And then I picked up crochet and I was obsessed because it just came way easier for me. I remember knitting those squares during that summer of 2020 while watching La Casa de Papel. And I had to wake my mom up. I had to wake up my mom and like call for her all the time because I would just forget how to purl, which side was which and whatever. So it didn't come naturally for me. And then through crochet and wanting to crochet the Hairstyles cardigan, I think I actually found Kayla before Kalila on YouTube. And I started watching their crochet channels, and then they started talking about Tiffany Lou, Typical Bliss, and all these knitting channels. So at that point, I wanted to knit again, because I did want to knit the entire time that I was crocheting, but I just thought it was too difficult and crochet came easier for me. So I'm happy that I eventually, together with Kalila and Copy Dolls, started to knit again, because it's been absolutely magical. I don't miss crochet at all. I like, not at all. I love knitting 1,000 times more than crochet. I don't know if that's an answer to your question. This video is so... Guys, I haven't talked for a week. I am so out of my element. So I'm sorry about that. I just realized I haven't added a beginning of the round marker. You usually put the beginning of the round on the first cast on stitches, right? Am I right, guys? The right armhole. I'm just gonna put it there for now, okay? Yeah. And then Laura also asked, are you enjoying working in the yarn shop? Yes, of course. Like, who wouldn't enjoy working in a yarn shop, right? The thing is, though it's an amazing job, and I feel like we all want to do that, and I can't believe it actually happened, because I was like, this fall and during the entire beginning of 2022, I was just trying to find yarn shops all over the country that was looking for employees, and it didn't happen. And it was a miracle that Anna was looking for employees. I can't believe this actually happened. This video is totally just for people who are following me already, because I can't imagine coming to this video and then like me not introducing myself or anything. But I feel like I'm talking to you guys right now. So yeah, if you have just seen this is your first video, I'm sorry if it's confusing. If you don't know, I work at a yarn store called 60 Gonanode, and I'm so grateful. Before I worked at the yarn store, my first job that I had was at McDonald's, and I started working at McDonald's when I was 17, I want to say, maybe 16, but I think 17. And I was just a regular employee until I became a hostess in 2019, I guess. And then around the end of 2019 to 2020, I was going to start my shift leader position, and I was starting having shifts, and it was taking a toll on me. That's like an entirely different story, because I was very social during my McDonald's job, and I guess you guys already know that I'm quite an introvert and socializing is very hard on me. So I quit that job because of like just like bad feelings at the job. And it was like taking a toll on me. And I'm happy that I did, because then like a month after the pandemic came, and people were laid off and everything. So good thing that I quit. But when I quit, I was just so, I had been for an entire 2 years, I had been so social. Like, it wasn't just the workplace, having new customers every single second coming in, getting yelled at, all of that. If you worked in a restaurant, you know what I mean. And then also just like having so many colleagues and having to socialize even after there were no customers, constantly, and then going out to bars after every shift. The pandemic came, I graduated, and I was just a complete mess. And I didn't start working again until summer of 2021, because I emailed this coffee shop that has been my favorite coffee shop. I was about to say the name. Not anything bad with it, but yeah. It just because I needed to get a job. I had just been at home after graduating, and I thought it's a while from here. It's like 40 minutes away from home, but it's my favorite drive to take. I would take that road trip every single day, and drive to this coffee shop. I've been doing this since 2017, so I did end up getting a job there last summer, and I was so happy about it. But it was still in the service industry. I was standing in the registry, I was in the kitchen, I was handing out orders, and I was absolutely miserable, because it was just, yeah. So after I fell in 2020 with the pandemic, I just realized how I had been trying to be this social person for 2 years, and I completely broke down. And then healing from that, getting back into not having to talk to every single person, trying to be someone I'm not, and then trying to get back into it at another job. I was miserable, and I had to quit that job after like 2 months. And I decided to do that and just spend the entire fall just working on my crochet, because I was thinking about like starting a crochet business, making crochet patterns and everything. I remember buying a logo off of Fiverr and standing in the kitchen on a late evening, just like looking at my new Handmade by Alexandra Linda logo for my crochet business, whatever. And yeah, so what I'm getting at is, since I quit my job in September last year, I've just been at home. I started my Instagram at that time, and I didn't start my YouTube channel until this year in January. But so many things have happened since then. I'm not making patterns. I'm just doing this YouTube thing. And from other perspectives, I've just been at home knitting every single day. Being a lazy ass, basically. But for me, it hasn't been that way. For me, it has been trying to heal from these past years of my life. Then this job opportunity came up, and I've talked about it before, and I'm not gonna bore you with it, but I was a bit nervous about getting back into because a yarn store, it's still like a service job, and I was very nervous about just meeting my boss. And the first day of work, just getting used to being at home during the pandemic and not having to just be able to be myself. But the thing is, at work, I usually work by myself. We're just one person at a time. I think they have been two people during this time because there has been a lot of people coming to the store. I've had 2 weeks off or more, I think, from work. Um, so it's, but yeah, usually it's just one person. So I get to be by myself. I just have to drive 5 minutes to work, if even. And I usually get there a bit earlier and I print out orders that I get in a mail, and I print it all out and I put on the music. Usually I listen to Fadi on Misty or whatever. Some calm acoustic music, and I just look around, and sometimes I vacuum, and then I open the store and I usually start packing orders, and it's my favorite thing to do because we have these cute little cards and I write my name on them. I usually count how many orders we have that day. I write my name on that many cards, and then I take the biggest orders and put them in a pile, and then the small orders and I put them in a pile. And I start with the small orders because there's usually a lot of people that come in when we open the store. So I just do the small orders so that I can quit easily and help people. And the thing is, what I do to save myself from the socializing and being able to do it, and I'm having such an easy time at work doing it, is by just saying hi. How are you? Do you need any help? And people usually say, nope, I don't. I just want to look around. And then I say, okay, great, I'm here packing orders. Just let me know as soon as you need help. And then me and the customer are both quiet in our own little knitting worlds. And then if they say that they need help, I help them. And it's something, I'm working with something that I enjoy, yarn. And I have a lot of people asking me about patina patterns, and I can help them. And the difference between that and working with food is that this is not a stressful workplace. I don't have to run around. I can take my time with people. It can be stressful working at the yarn store because a lot of people can come in at the same time and you can't help everybody. So that can be quite stressful. But for me not to completely break down and enjoy my job, because it's an amazing job and it's an amazing place to be at, so I try to take care of myself by not stressing myself up. And the reason, so yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot basically, and we're not knitting, I'm sorry. I'm enjoying it a lot because I get to be by myself. So as soon as customers leave, I get 5 minutes of packing orders or just like fixing the yarn, doing the things I do at work. And that gives me moments of silence to recover, like just like get up my energy to then talk to new people. And that's a huge difference from McDonald's, for example, where it is stressful, people want their food right away. While at work, people usually come in, they take off their jackets, they sit down. Some people sit down and knit. Some people just like spend an hour in there. So it's not stressful. And also, she's not watching this because she's a busy woman. She is amazing. But my boss, I could cry. I love her with all my heart. I don't want to talk bad about like my bosses beforehand. So that's not what I'm doing right now. But she has been just like, the first couple of days I was working with her and she was showing me everything. And I remember being like, okay, so when I've packed orders, what do I do then? Do I run and do this? Do I do that? Because I'm so used to having to constantly be on my feet. Like, you can never have a moment of silence. And she was just so calm, and she was taking her time showing me everything, and she was so kind, and I just remember leaving my first day at work feeling so, after, even if it's been like a good social interaction with friends, I usually have to like recoup, is that what you say? But I didn't have to after those days. And she just, you know, she always answers my text if I need help with anything. Um, she says that, thank you for working today. Wow, you've been so amazing today. Was there a lot of things happening at work? She's just so supportive and so kind. Workplaces can be very toxic, and I'm just so grateful that I get to, you know, I just work there extra. It's not a full-time job, but I've worked there quite a lot. And I get to work those hours with something I still enjoy, because all I want to do in life, literally, is just be in a sea of yarn and just knit. That's all I want to do, forever and ever. I'm so grateful, and I'm so sorry about this rant. I haven't been talking for a week, guys. I'm gonna talk forever and ever and ever. But yeah, I guess I've told you guys about the job, but I'm gonna ask Anna, my boss, this week, if I can arrive earlier to work. And maybe I think I might be working with her one day for my Swedish yarn store series, because I want to film in there and like talk to you guys about every single yarn that we have, and also show you guys around. It's not just us in a little store. We're in this old 19th century building that has a cafe, a vinyl record thing, and a bunch of stores. I have a lot of neighbors with amazing employees in Salotto Living, a clothing store. Just show you guys around, and yeah, for my yarn store series, so you can see it more. But now you also know that I am extremely happy where I'm at, and it's amazing being able to not have anxiety before work for the first time in my life. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you, Anna, for hiring me. Out of all the people, it was me. Like, it felt like a gift from the universe or something, because I had been looking for yarn stores like in the north of Sweden and south in Denmark. Bitch, I was planning on going to Denmark. And then my local yarn store 5 minutes away opens up a position, and she chooses me. Why would you do that? I don't know, but yeah, I'm so grateful and I'm so happy. That was such a long answer. Okay, then Laura also asked, one yarn forever, what would it be? Guys, why are you forcing me to do this? Choosing, why would I shoot? Okay, merino wool. Double Sunday? I should probably go with like a cotton yarn, like I would say Double Sunday by Sun Is Gone or Line by Sun Is Gone. Good basic yarns, right? And then we have a question that is, what's your favorite yarn, like brand and the yarn name? Okay, so here we go again. It's like interesting questions. I want to hear people's answer to this, but it changes so much. A while back, I would definitely say Drops Air, because I loved how soft it was. But I've used my Sunday sweater isn't Drops Air, and my novice cardigan, but seeing how fast it pills, it's obvious, makes me not like it anymore. So I've also heard that Double Sunday can pill. But okay, so here's the thing. I obviously love mohair, you guys know that. After I made my Ingrid sweater though, I am getting into this. Just one strand of a merino wool because it is soft. And I've noticed that I'm not even gonna, with my Ingrid slipover, I had been watching way too many knitting traditions episodes, and I wanted to be Inga, so I bought this lipstick gone rustic wool. It's not my thing. It is not my thing. I want to be able to just like I want to have soft sweaters, okay? Yeah. So I'm thinking that right now I'm loving Double Sunday, and I'm probably not gonna have like a favorite yarn because they all are good for different reasons. But for now, it is Isager silk mohair. Guys, if you thought that it couldn't get softer than knitting for olive mohair, you have not seen life itself. Yeah. For now, it would be Isager mohair and Double Sunday by Sabbath's. What are your future plans with knitting? Pattern, designer, yarn shop, etc. I obviously want to work with knitting my entire life, but I have been having some existential crisis these past couple of days because it's not clear for me what I want to do. With school, I was not a good student. Not because I'm not smart. I was an A student in 6th grade. And then that completely broke me, and I've been getting by like barely in school. I obviously have undiagnosed ADHD or autism. My brother has it, and I should have probably gotten checked a long time ago. I'm too scared to do it right now. That's too much to get into. But math is not my thing at all. And it's a lot of math involved with pattern designing. And the same with dyeing yarn. Like, why? It's a creative, but yeah, I don't want to become a hand dyer per se. I just kind of want to have like a big yarn business, like Isager. Like, I don't want to hand dye. I just want to create a factory. Because my favorite yarns aren't hand dyed yarns. It's yarns like this, like commercial yarns. So I would love to create my commercial yarn business. That would be amazing in the future. How do you even start? I hate working, like capitalism. So I can't see myself becoming like an entrepreneur type. I have my own business, but that's like what I gotta do to survive in life, because we all gotta work, unfortunately. Yeah. I would love to become a pattern designer. What has stopped me is math, first of all. And also just that if I were to design something, I've been thinking a lot about this. It would be, I was talking to someone about this today, that I would want to start off basic, right? Like an easy raglan sweater, a normal top, whatever. But I've just been thinking, like, why would I, who has only been knitting for 6 months, I cannot do that. Why would anyone be interested in that? But I've come to the realization that Petite Knit, for example, she's releasing this Monday sweater soon. That is just a simple raglan sweater, but it has a lot of good techniques. And I've come to the realization that it's not always about the design that people are making. It's also like about the pattern in itself. Like, I would choose the Monday sweater by Petite Knit before any other simple raglan sweaters, because I love how she writes her patterns, and I know that I'm gonna have a good time knitting the sweater. So I've started to warm up about the idea of designing patterns in the future and starting off basic with whatever I want to make. I also love dresses. I love ruffles. I love vintage stuff. So my knitting designs would probably be something like similar to Fable Knitwear. Like that type of thing. But that would be in the future. And yeah, I've just warmed up to the idea of it's okay. How do I say this? I don't know how to say it, but okay, so envision me 3 years from now. I'm starting to design patterns. Are you with me? And I have a website, right? I would like to have just like a simple raglan sweater that everyone has seen before on that website, and a simple tank top, a simple skirt, whatever. Just because if I want my own raglan sweater, so that if my collection, you know what I mean? And that just makes so much sense in my head. Like, it's about what I create, and it doesn't have to be like this business. I have to create whatever. Okay, so plans are I want to have my own factory where we create commercial yarns. I don't know. I want to design patterns, but I don't want to learn how. I just want to know. And I just want to sit and knit for the rest of my life. That's my plan for knitting. That's why I'm trying to enjoy life as much as possible right now in this moment, because I'm able to do this and work at the yarn store. And so I'm just holding on to this piece. I'm just praying that I get to do this for the rest of my life. I don't know. Okay, that's it. What is your most worn knit? My most worn knit is probably the Ingrid sweater, because it has been perfect. Like, no mohair. It's been summer. It's been great to wear. But also my Sunday sweater, the white one, probably the most worn sweater. And I need to look at that because I've noticed that it's white and I love wearing white. So that's why I'm getting into like this beige white basic thing, because I noticed I wear it a lot more. And I think also just the fit of it, the length is perfect and the arms are perfect, everything, the color. So I need to, with my terrazzo sweater that you're gonna see in the podcast, I compared it to my Ingrid sweater, in the length, in the arms, everything. So I think I found how I want my sweaters to be, and I'm gonna do that in the future and not just go for a pattern, because yeah, that has nothing to do with it. But yes, my Ingrid sweater and my Sunday sweater. It's already very long and we have a lot of questions, so I'm not gonna answer the questions that was similar. Like, I've got a lot of favorite yarns, qualities, things like that. So I'm just gonna say it all now. Like, my favorite yarns at the moment is Double Sunday, Isaga Mohair, and Pure Silk by Knitting for Olive. Favorite brands, Sun is Gone. I love it so much. Also Knitting for Olive. Obviously I loved Knitting for Olive before, but working in a yarn store, just like feeling it, trying it out, it is, yes, such an awesome brand. My legs are hurting, guys. Yes, I love merino wool. I've stopped liking alpaca because it's quite itchy. I don't know. I'm more of a merino gal nowadays. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip the questions that are quite similar to the others, and I feel so bad. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, but we gotta do it, guys. This video is way too long. Here's an interesting question. Do you consider sustainability while choosing a yarn/project? Absolutely. Well, so I'm Swedish, right? So I would like to say that we are quite sustainable, and just, I'm watching like American vloggers and everything. You guys just put all of your trash in the same trash can. I don't get it. We have like our trash cans. In our area where we live, we have 2 big trash cans, like humongous trash cans, and you store plastic and paper and food and whatever. And before we had that, you would take all your plastic and paper to a station that is like 5 minutes away from here, and you panta your burkar. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I became a vegan when I was 15 for the environment, the animals too, of course. I'm not vegan anymore for many reasons, but yeah, just the environment has always been important for me. And sustainability is important, of course, but I also view it in the way that Kalila does it. You gotta check out her channel if you want her view of it and like creativity. We've had talks about it. But going through, I'm going to talk about this in the podcast, but I've been going through all of my knit projects and I have so many things that I'm not going to wear. For example, basically all of my slipovers. Because I fell in love with making slipovers, but I realized that I do not like wearing them. I just don't think that they look good on me. And now I have all of these slipovers and some in like crazy colors that I'm not going to wear. So for now, it is a sustainable practice what I'm going to be doing now, which is thinking about like the colors. I'm not just like a white beige person. I love color. I love blue. I love green. But also just thinking do I want to make this sweater because it looks really good on this skinny person who wears pants? But if you calm down, Alexandra, and realize that you don't look like that, you're not going to be comfortable wearing that, and you're probably going to wear a dress with it, and it's going to look weird. So that's what I'm going through, looking at patterns now, and realizing, because I'm just so sad going through all of my knitted things and realizing that I don't wear them, and I'm not going to wear them, and I'm trying to find ways to give them away. Like, who would want these sweaters that I've made? So yeah, sustainability is important, of course, and what yarn whatever, but then also I think you should just do what you're able to do, but don't let that stop your creativity. If you want to use acrylic yarn, even though someone says it's not sustainable, you go use that acrylic yarn. I approve. Do whatever you want to do. But I'm gonna be more sustainable in the way with what I knit. I want to make sure that I'm knitting something that I actually want to wear, because I love wearing my knits. I'm not just knit. I think I'm a project knitter. Like, I love the finished object, not so much the progress. Obviously I love knitting, but I love wearing my knitted things more. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Yep, hello. Best thing about knitting? Well, I don't want to say it because it's so cheesy. I'm actually gonna puke saying it. But yeah, it's the friends that I've made. I remember the first people that I ever contacted was Kalila. And that's my bedtime reminder. It is almost 1 a.m. But yeah, not just that. Obviously you guys watching, like just from DMs, but also just like working at the yarn store, the people that I met there, my boss, Anna. It's crazy how many like-minded people I've met in such a short period of time. And this is gonna sound strange, but realizing that I probably have autism or ADHD, and going through that journey of my life, and finding so many knitters that are going through that as well, or that already have their diagnosis, it's been helping a lot. And I feel like there's so much. At work, for example, I needed to rest my legs, so I just picked up a pom-pom magazine and started reading it, and there was this article or something written by someone who was a yarn dyer, and they had autism, and they were talking about it in this pom-pom magazine, and I was crying at work because it just resonated so much. And yeah, basically just the connections that knitting has made is better than yarn. It is better than the process of knitting. And it's so cheesy to say, but yeah, I'm in awe of what a hobby can do with your life. And I think there's a lot of hobbies, but I don't know if there's like communities like the knitting community. It's crazy. But yeah, I need to answer this question because it is. I remember answering this in my first podcast, And the question is favorite needle size. I remember answering that and saying, well, I love everything from like a 4 to 6. No, I'm very certain of what is my favorite needle size at the moment, and it is totally 4.5. It's amazing. I notice as soon as I go down to a 4 and lower, I get pain in my hands. I love a size 5 needle. I don't get any pain in my hands. If I start going to a 5.5 and 6, I get a pain in my wrist quicker. A 4.5, it is just the perfect size for my manly thick hands that need to go to work. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, it is just moving so quickly in my hands. It's so comfortable. It works up pretty quickly. It's to the point where I have started making gauge swatches, guys, sometimes. But if it is a project that is 4mm or 5, I'm just gonna go with a 4.5 because I love it so much. I don't know, I'm very passionate about it at the moment, but yeah. I've been buying circulars in 4.5 because I use it so often. Yeah, whatever. I've seen this question a lot, and I remember getting it, so I'm gonna answer it now. Stranded on a desert island. Pick one yarn, needles, and project. And I saw this question earlier today, and I've been thinking about it. And if you're gonna put me on this island, this hypothetical island, right? And only giving me one yarn, needles, and project, then that's gonna be terrible. First of all, I have no patience. I would freak out on that island. I'd say honestly a 3.5mm needle, shocking. And like, is it a warm island? It has to be warm. This hypothetical island is warm. I would bring like a merino, a strand of knitting for all of merino, and a 3.5 needle. Cause I hate, I'm making the cumulus tea. I hate it. I'm using 3.5mm needles and one strand of fingering. I don't have the patience for you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But if you guys put me on this hypothetical island, I would have a lot of time. So that's what I would bring. Peace out. What style of knitting do you prefer? English or continental, for example? Continental. I remember Googling this, and continental was like the standard way of knitting up until the Second World War, or the first one. I don't know. But apparently continental style, this is what Wikipedia says, so don't trust me. Continental was also referred to as German style knitting. So the English decided to create their own because it had like bad taste. Again, Wikipedia. And that's how English style knitting came along. I don't know. But yeah, interesting. Because I remember picking up knitting again this fall and watching a tutorial on YouTube just to refresh my mind. And my mom was next to me, and I remember her asking, "What the F are you doing?" Because I was like doing all of this. I had never seen that before. But that was the tutorial was teaching me English style knitting. Because here I have only ever seen people knit continental, and it is the way you learn here in school during sewing class. I just, and I've never seen anyone in videos. I would love to talk to a person in Scandinavia who uses English style. That would be so interesting. I don't know why, but it would be. It's just the standard over here, and I have learned English style. Look at me, okay, guys, are you ready? Look at me. Are you ready? I've done it different times, like watching Kalila's Twitch streams and seeing her flickety flicky. I kind of want to do it myself. So I haven't watched the tutorial. I've just kind of seen how other people do it, and it's fun. However, it's been awesome doing it when I've had like wrist pain, switching it up. I did that with my June top. I did my pure silk one. The problem is my tension, the difference in my tension from English to continental is huge. So I cannot just like switch to it in the middle of a project. Otherwise, I would love to do that just to like, I feel like it would be good for my wrists to do that. Just like switch up. But yeah, we're not doing that. So yeah, I definitely prefer continental. It's just so much more comfortable. I love it. You knit however you want to knit, but I'm stick to continental for the rest of my life. I have learned Norwegian purl recently. It is amazing, especially with ribbing. But if I'm doing a purl row, I'm just gonna purl in my strange way because it goes by so much faster. But yeah. Swedish question. Vilka är dina favoritstickpoddar? Which means, which are your favorite knitting podcasts? You are Swedish, my darling Emma. So, Swedish podcast tips. Unfortunately, my favorite one has, they've taken a break. But it's called Stickerian Podcast, and I'm very sad about it. I don't want to talk about it, okay? I'm kidding. No, like, actually heartbroken. But, there's another one called Mamma's Garnroom, and I think they're about to go on a break too. Because Julia is moving. But English ones, are you ready? Do you have a pen and paper? The Knitting Pickle Podcast, Breeze Knits, Copycatly Knitting Podcast, Crea Bea. I'm blacking. Knitting Traditions. Okay. Oh my god, don't kill me for my pronunciation. Cookie Knits? That's a really bad word in Swedish. So many. I should have planned this, but yeah, there are some recommendations for you. Hoppas det var bra. Puss puss, kram kram. Okay, we're getting to the end here, which is nice because then I can answer most questions. Any knitting books? Actually hardcover? By that, I assume my English is blanking out. I guess you mean like actual knitting books that you recommend or want to get. Knitting books that I want to get is, I cannot pronounce this name for the life of me. Larkebagger. You all know what I mean. I was watching that Danish documentary and I fell in love with her. Oh my god. So I need to get her knitting book. It is released in both Swedish and English this fall, in September. But I'm getting the Swedish book because it has the nice cover. So I'm getting it in Swedish. And I also want to get kutuvakikas. I love saying that. I go around my house and say kutuvakica all the time. I'd love to get a coffee with her, but that's not gonna happen. But kutuvakica. What I want to get her book. I want to get Fable Knitwear. There's so many books I want to get, guys. But I do have one recommendation. I cannot read. That's a lie. I can read. I used to be such a reader growing up, but then school ruined reading for me. So I cannot read more than one line, and then I lose focus and I read the same line. It's bad. I do love audiobooks though. So if you guys have any audiobook recommendations for knitting books, let me know. I've been trying to find knitting books for a while. Like I just sit on Adlibris. There's a site in Sweden. Trying to look for it. But most of the knitting books that I find are patterns. And I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I'm not just going to Ravelry and buy it there. I want knitting books with like stories, the history of knitting. So please give me recommendations of that. But I remember someone talking about this book and I asked for it for Christmas and here it is. It is called The Mindfulness in Knitting by Rachel Matthews. And I have read to here in the beginning of the year. I remember I was taking knitting breaks at night by reading this. And I should really read it again. It talks about knitting, the mindfulness in knitting. Sounds so bad, but it was just the little part that I read. I remember being so inspired. And it has exercises in it. I remember I did one, and it was you get a blank piece of paper and you were like drawing stitches and then writing words as they came to your mind, and it was fun. So yeah, it's beautiful, and I really want to knit it, read it. I should keep it here in my bed and read it. I really should. Tip, I haven't finished it, but you're probably gonna love it. Would you ever try any other kind of needle art, sewing, quilting, etc.? I talked about this on Tiffany's stream tonight, that I really want to get into sewing. And seeing everyone talk about sewing now, like, you gotta stop. It's getting to me. Because I just want to make my own clothes. And I talked to this with Tiffany today, that I love dresses. I wear a lot of dresses. But there's always something off with them. I only wear, like, even before knitting, I would wear dresses and knitted sweaters. And I hated almost every knitted sweater that I had because the neck was annoying. There was always something wrong, and starting to knit, I've learned that I can change it. And I really want to get into making my own dresses because the issues that I have with them, I can just change. The thing is, I'm not going to buy myself a sewing machine. My grandma has one that I could probably borrow, but I feel rude asking her for that. So I really want to get into sewing, spinning. Yeah, I just love being creative. I suck at it, but it doesn't matter. It's fun. So sewing. I also want to try punch needling. Yeah. How do you get back your knitting mojo? What I've done is I've lost it many times, and at that point I've kept on knitting. But I've noticed the best times have been where I didn't knit, and after like one day it came back. And I guess just like watching podcasts, one big tip would be like rewatching your favorite knitting podcasts, like episodes you've seen that you remember like falling in love with. Like for example, I remember my knitting mojo being bad in the beginning of the year, and then I rewatched all of Tiffany Lou's first videos, like her first couple of yarn corners. That's me pulling out my hair. I'm sorry, that's bad. I'm sorry. Ew. Yeah, just rewatching like when I first found her videos, thanks to Kalila, and wanting to, yeah, that made me inspired. So that's like a tip. Otherwise, I don't know. Just stop knitting and wait for it to come back, because it will. Probably will. How have you really been? You seem so much happier since starting your new job. And thank you. I am going to say that I received a lot of DMs and comments of people saying, you seem so much more happier and confident. You seem to be feeling so good, and I appreciate it a lot. That's very kind of you guys. But I don't get it, because nothing has changed. I'm the exact same person that I was at the beginning of the year. In April, I started to get very, very sick, and I still am. I struggle a lot with my health at the moment. It's gotten better. So that's like the only thing that I think could have changed, is that I'm not as sick anymore, but I am. Like, I had a full-on health situation yesterday in the middle of nowhere, and I had panic attack. Like, I'm still struggling with my health, and the reason why I think this, guys, why you think this, is just because I've gotten my braces off. I smile more. I think that's the thing. Like, before I would smile and laugh, but I would always cover my mouth, and just try to keep my mouth as closed as I could while talking. So I think that's the biggest reason why you guys think that. But yeah, nothing has changed. Obviously, things have changed. My job mainly, and like relations in life, but I'm still having the same issues that I had in the beginning of the year when I started. maybe I'm more comfortable with the camera. I don't know, but thank you guys. But also just know that I am the same person. I'm not happier. I'm not sadder. Things are just different, and maybe I'm just more comfortable with the camera. But yeah. Thank you guys. That's really sweet though, that you felt it. Obviously something must have happened because there's been a lot of DMs saying this. So, and it's weird being here. Like, I've said thank you to everyone because it's really sweet. But I'm living the exact same life as I did, so I don't understand where it's coming from. But yeah. And then lovely Breeze Knits said, "What's your secret to being so beautiful and cool?" Now, thank you. I'm the worst at taking compliments, but I realized that people don't like that. They like when you just say thank you. But I'm the person to be like, no, I'm not, but and talk away. But people don't like that, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna say thank you. But it's strange, you know. Growing up, I was always the ugly kid. I was, but I was overweight, and there's not anything being ugly with that, but people around me thought that, and I've struggled a lot with that. So that's also one thing, like posting pictures and people saying that I like look pretty. It's quite uncommon for me. So that makes me very happy and very surprised. Thank you. It means a lot. It's very sweet. Like, you don't have to do that. And so cool. Like, I've been the most uncool, annoying piece of trash my entire life. You guys are being so sweet to me, and I really appreciate it. I'm really bad at taking compliments. I don't know how to answer them, but I take them in and I smile, big smiles, and I'm giggling at home every time I get a compliment. So keep it coming. I did answer every question. If I didn't include it, it was because you answered asked the same question as another one, but I did read it, and thank you so much for taking the time and answering it, or asking a question. I have my COVID test up there still. I tested positive when I came home from Stockholm. I finally, I told you guys that I've been very sick, started to feel better, then COVID came along, ruined my health again. So yeah, it's been really bad, but I'm starting to feel myself come back to life. I'm working now on Wednesday. Tomorrow, I need to go to bed. Like, not tomorrow, but no, on Wednesday. It's Monday? I thought it was Tuesday. Guys, I'm gone. I should really go to bed. But this was a lot of fun for me. And I'm gonna try, as I told you, my last shady video, it got way more, I remember it getting more views than like my podcast when I uploaded it, which was bad. So I'm gonna name this video "Only Watch If You," because I feel like this won't be a good video for like new people to watch. But yeah, if you watched to this point, I don't know what you're doing, but thank you. It's been really nice for me to finally completely lost my voice this week, so it's nice to be able to talk again. I didn't have a single coughing fit, which was really nice. Lovely. And we did get we got 2 rounds in. 2.5. But it's 252 stitches. And we did split 4. Yeah. I don't know if they're completely lining up my stripes. I think there's 1 row difference, but it's fine. I should really get into knitting my Ingrid slipover for work. But I don't know, I'm just so tired of the Ingrid pattern. I don't want to ever knit the Ingrid sweater again. But I'm working through it. You'll see it in my podcast. So I should probably stop knitting this, but it's so much fun, and I really want to get this done before September. Yeah, I'm gonna try to upload this tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see when I record my podcast. I went to the south of Sweden yesterday. I left the house at 9 and I came back home at 8 in the evening for this one yarn store. that I filmed for you guys with my phone though, which is, I'm just too scared to bring up the camera. But I need to do that because it's way better quality. But yeah, I'm gonna try to, a lot of yarn stores here has been closed for the summer for vacation. Because Swedes get 5 weeks paid vacation, around that. So a lot of people are on vacation at the moment. But yeah, my camera's about to die. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the podcast whenever that will be uploaded. I hope you enjoyed this little shitty chat.